So I've done a bunch more work on this project. After the first two coats of the epoxy primer, I then did body filler on all of the welding seams. And so in the areas where I had been welding and putting in new metal, I didn't really want it to look like I'd done that, so I'd gone and smoothed it out with Bondo, and then I resprayed it with epoxy, a couple more coats, and then I used seam sealer, but I didn't go crazy. The problem with seam sealer is that it can trap in moisture, and that's what was wrong with the original car, is that there was all of that undercoating slapped everywhere, and inside and out, and eventually it dries and it hardens and shrinks, and moisture gets in through the cracks and crevices, and then it makes things really bad. So I've only put it in the areas where there were actual holes, and I was careful to seal them completely. Now the back here, what I've done is I've used rubberized undercoating that is paintable, and I've only put it in the wheel wells and just in the area under the back piece here where some of the crap from the road will get splashed up. I don't really want to go crazy with this stuff. I've done some test panels. You can see over here I've been coating it with epoxy, and I'm going to be a little bit more careful with this. I'm going to wash it down with the wax and grease remover. I'm going to give it about a week to fully cure. Then I'm going to wash it down, let it dry thoroughly, and then I'm going to maybe even give it a light sanding with maybe 220 grit, and then spray it with a couple of more coats of epoxy. Basically, I want the underside of the car to be OEM, so I want it to be the same silver in the wheel wells, so I want the silver to go on top of good base. I'm still debating whether or not I spray some of my 2K high build urethane primer on the, I think I will actually, so I'll give it one light seal coat of epoxy, and then one day later or half a day later I will spray it with the high build primer, and then I'll spray it with the silver. So before I do anything more though on this, I'm going to work on the engine bay area and then the interior, and then when everything else is to this level, then I'm going to go back around and do the high build primers and then finish everything off. So kind of got a I'm finished for now with the underside of the car the way it is. All right.